Right, welcome back everyone to another video, and this time we're going to do something a little different. I got an email yesterday on one of my previous videos talking about some foods that I had discussed in nutritional side of things to do with boosting natural testosterone, and they asked about some things to do with specific foods. So I thought I'd make a list just to piggyback off of that for a bit of a training aid for that person who emailed me. But hopefully this will be useful for you. This is my top 10 foods that are going to boost your testosterone naturally. So let's get into it. First and foremost, we have fatty fish. Now, fatty fish, I'm talking about things like salmon, like sardines, and personally those are my two go-tos. Salmon, they're delicious. I don't really eat a lot of fish. If you watch my previous videos, I would have made that a bit more clear. But salmon, I just seem to really like salmon, and especially sashimi or sushi. Goes down a treat. I have absolutely no problem with that. And sardines, if you can't really afford salmon because it can be expensive depending on where you are in the world, by all means go with sardines. They are super cheap. You can find them in brine. You can find them in oils or flavored and cooked in different ways. Awesome, fantastic. So definitely go and get a bunch of those. You can get them for like $1 a can. Super cheap. Have them for a snack or put them into a meal. Now, they have a ton of vitamins that are beneficial for testosterone, vitamin D, zinc, omega-3 fats, and so on. Now, this is going to help boost your natural test production. So, super helpful. Try to get fish in at least once a week. Or if you're having sardines as a snack throughout the week, having a can a day, you're going to be well topped up to help you with your test production. Moving on to some greens. Now, as much as we may not like to eat a lot of greens, you still got to eat your greens, boys. There's tons of micronutrients and some good stuff there to help you with your general health and well-being. So these are important sources of magnesium, zinc, and micronutrients, right? You also get some fiber out of some of this as well. Now, the good thing about this is you can eat a lot of them. You can eat a lot of kale. You can eat a lot of broccoli, and it doesn't take up a lot of space in your stomach, which is fantastic, right? So you can still eat all of your protein sources without having the fear that you're going to be too full to finish your meals. So this is super helpful. I personally am a big fan of spinach, not so much kale. Broccoli I'll have on occasion, maybe once a month, that sort of thing. But generally my go-to would be spinach. Again, it's all about providing all the base constituents that make up the production of testosterone. You need high protein, you need the magnesium, you need the zinc, you need, iron, you need these things that are going to be super beneficial for you with the production of testosterone. Next up, one of my favorites is avocado. Now, you're going to get a ton of magnesium and boron and plenty of natural fats to just help with some of that testosterone production. Now, this is going to be a constant theme throughout. You've probably already noticed it, that this is all geared towards testosterone production. Now, testosterone is a hormone. Let's remember that. So this is all about trying to ensure our bodies are in a harmonious state, right? If our bodies are let's say, out of sync, or there's certain stresses, they're going to be causing shifts in our hormonal levels. So if our cortisol levels start to spike really high, then we're going to start to see a decrease in things like growth hormone and testosterone. This is why people will say, make sure you get enough sleep. This is why you need to bring your stress levels down if you can. So in terms of avocados, we're going to get a ton of healthy fats. We're going to get plenty of magnesium and boron. And you can add this to anything. Add this as a side. Put this on top of a salad. You can just eat it plain, right? Sprinkle a little bit of salt on top if you just want a little bit of extra flavor. Super helpful and not too expensive. So they're super helpful for you. Next up, one of my favorites. I've literally put it here as a 10 out of 10 food, and that is eggs. They are super rich in healthy fats, ton of good proteins, good cholesterol, and selenium. Now, selenium helps in the production of testosterone by activating certain genes which will foster more testosterone production. So this is a slightly lesser known sort of side of eggs, but it's super helpful, right? Eggs, remember, they have all the constituents inside to create life, right? An animal is going to be born out of this if it wasn't taken for food production. So eggs are just a 10 out of 10 food. They're super cheap most of the time, unless you're in New Zealand like I am. Generally super cheap, and you can eat a lot of them, right? 5 eggs in the morning, or have them at night before going to bed, an hour before bed. have 4 or 5 eggs, you're going to be golden, right? You're going to be super well off. And yeah, 10 out of 10 eggs. I literally can't say more good things about eggs. Pomegranates. Now, this one I was late to the game, so to speak. I was late to the show. Although I had friends who were drinking pomegranate juice for years, and they were trying to get me on this, saying, no, you need it, bro. It's going to be super helpful for you. It's going to boost your testosterone, blah blah blah. Personally, I was a bit late because I don't really drink juices, so I thought it was a bit meh. But after trying it, 100% worth the money. They're super cheap. You can get pomegranate juice, or you can buy the fruits themselves if you want to go that route. I just buy the juices. Try to limit yourself on the preservatives and the added sugars and salt and etc. Try to stick, if you can, to as fresh, organic pomegranates as you can. There's going to be a ton of antioxidants, which are going to help protect your testosterone-producing cells, yeah? So this is not going to necessarily boost the testosterone production as much as it is going to protect those cells that produce testosterone, yeah? Super cheap, delicious. Excuse me. Try to go organic if you can. Next up, look, there is a reason why the Russians are as jacked and as masculine as they are, right? And a big chunk of it is that they eat a shit ton of onions. Now, onions increase sperm quality when eaten regularly. Now, this is going to be the case for almost everything on this list. If you eat them regularly, you're going to see those increases. Having a one day of eating a whole bunch of good food and then slacking off and eating pizza for the rest of the time, you're going to end up with a shit diet and going to look like shit. Right? Your testosterone's going to tank, and you're going to be feeling under the weather most of the time. So this is all about eating it consistently. Now, with onions, they stimulate the body to produce more testosterone. Again, it's just about activating those cells, boost those testosterone levels. And we also have things like phytochemicals and flavonoids, which are going to be protecting the sperm from external threats. So super helpful. For me personally, I add about a quarter onion to almost every dish I cook. Almost every dish I'll cook, I'll add anywhere between a quarter of an onion to a half an onion. I like onions. I love the taste of them. I like the texture. So I'm more than happy to splurge out. It's kind of like garlic, right? I'll put garlic in anything, and a lot of it. So yeah, add this to your diet. It's going to be super, super helpful. Lean meats. Now, I put steaks and chicken breast. Of course, you can add things like turkey, and if you want to throw in venison if you can afford it. Steaks. With the steaks, try to keep, don't go too overboard with the fat cap on it. Try to keep it somewhat reasonable, right? I'm not saying to eliminate the fat, just keep it reasonable here. But they're all excellent sources. And the main point here is about protein. Low protein intake will lead to lower testosterone. It's just a fact, right? So if you want to boost that testosterone, one of the easiest ways, because most men love protein sources, they love the chicken, they love their steaks and so on, is just to increase. Just eat more chicken, eat more steaks, eat more venison, right? If you're a hunter, eat more. Go hunting more and eat more. It's going to be amazing. Now, for most people, I'm going to recommend for most men, you're going to be eating at least 100 grams of protein a day, at least. If you're training, that should be a little higher, because you're going to need enough, not only for normal sort of bodily functions, but you also need enough protein to help rebuild your body, rebuild it bigger, better, stronger than it was before. So make sure you're getting enough proteins in your diet, at least 100 grams. I don't care how it's split. I don't care if you eat most of your protein in the evening for dinner or whether it's mostly at lunch. I don't really care. Just get the meals down. Try not to skip meals. Make sure you're hitting your macros. Next up, we have spinach. Now, this might be a reference we'll go over some of the younger people's heads, but if it was good enough for Popeye, it's good enough for us, yeah? Popeye was an old cartoon back in the day. He was a Giga Chad. So, spinach is super high in fiber, super high in magnesium and zinc, all of which is essential for testosterone production, right? So, make sure that you're getting enough. I'd say about a cup for lunch, for example, would be fine. About another cup for dinner, be absolutely fine. If you want to add it into salads and sides and so on, go for it. That's absolutely fine. Just make sure you're having enough, right? I'd rather you eat a little bit too much than you under-eating and then you don't have enough. Your body will always be, in a sense, starving. And if it comes to testosterone production, you don't want to be starving your body of testosterone, yeah? So Spinach, super cheap. I personally like baby spinach. Yeah, it's available in every grocery store, super cheap, and it's just super versatile, right? You can throw it in pretty much anything and it's going to be delicious. Next up, I have a slight change. This is not adding something to your diet, instead taking away from your diet, and that is to limit your alcohol consumption. Now, for some of you, you're going to start crying, you're going to start, moping and moaning about, oh, I can't have a beer, I can't have a whiskey, blah, blah, blah. It's like, listen, first of all, alcohol tastes shit. I don't know why people try to defend the taste of alcohol. Alcohol just tastes shit. No one drinks vodka or whiskey because it tastes good. No one drinks, even craft beer because it tastes nice, right? It tastes better relatively to shit, but it's not good, right? If I wanted to just drink something that tastes good, I'll drink apple juice, orange juice. I'll drink Coke. I'll drink Fanta. Right? These taste good. Alcohol tastes shit. So that's not a good enough reason. At least the taste should be good enough to just stop drinking alcohol, or at least severely limit it. Alcohol has a huge effect on the body. Remember, alcohol is a toxin. It is toxic to the body. So your body's always trying to get rid of it. But the problem is, alcohol will upset your natural hormonal balances. It will suppress certain hormones from being produced, and it will actually stimulate others from being to produce more. In the case of testosterone, it's going to suppress testosterone. So if you need any other reason, just go with that. Hormone imbalances are going to be kicking into place here. You're going to consume it. Within 30 minutes, you're going to start to see a reduction in testosterone production. So limit your alcohol. If you don't want to get rid of it, fine. Just severely limit it. Instead of drinking every weekend, maybe once a month. Once a month you can go out with the boys, go to the bar, whatever the case may be. Try to limit it if you can't get rid of it at all. If you can just get rid of it because it tastes shit, even better. And finally, number 10, full dairy products. Now, I will confess, I don't handle dairy that well. I can have it, but not in large quantities. Not in the quantities that I would recommend if you're going to include full dairy stuff into your diet. So I try to stay away from diet for the most part. However, if you're like most people who can handle dairy pretty well, full fat, full cream dairy products, they're going to be super benefits. So this is going to be cream, this is going to be cottage cheese, this is going to be full cream milk, that sort of thing. Goat's cheese, doesn't really matter what it is, as long as it's full cream, right? And it hasn't been processed too much, right? It's going to stimulate the natural testosterone in your body. Now, I can't handle it very well, so I can't, explain how I would add it into a diet. But hey, anywhere you can add cheese, anywhere you can add milk. If you want to make French toast and you want to add more milk, that sort of thing, add cream instead of milk, go for it. 100% go for it. There's no real reason not to. In my case, I don't really have dairy, so I won't drink coffee or tea with milk. I don't really add cheese to anything. Just a personal thing, just for my gut health. Try to keep it simple for myself. But if you can handle it, if you can handle dairy products, go for it. And that basically brings us to the end of today's video, right? Now, I've skipped a whole lot of stuff because I realized my videos are getting way too long. Even this one, I can't actually see what the timer is, but I don't want this to be too long. So I'm going to try and keep this super quick. Leave any questions you have in the comment. Leave any questions that you have in the comments. I will respond to them. I respond to everyone that gets in touch. Or in this case, I made this video because someone emailed me. So let me know. If you want me to give a more specific answer, just go onto my emails and flick me an email and I'll get back to you. Or I'll make another video if it needs more clarifying. Quick note, I am going to be launching an ebook probably within the next week. I'm just finalizing some of the details, trying to get things looking good for an ebook. And that's going to be a free ebook. That's going to be a free ebook for people to learn more about testosterone, some of the 101, the basics. The basics to do with testosterone. So if you guys are interested in that and you want to get early access to that, let me know. I'll flick you one of these ebooks probably a day or two before it's going to be released to everyone else. Let me know. Just flick me an email and I'll send it straight to you when it's ready. Like, subscribe, comment, all that sort of good stuff. And I will see you tomorrow in another video. Peace out, boys.